He's with the law firm of Farris, Riley & Pitt. He's our host attorney. He's also here to explain a contract clause known as mandatory binding arbitration. A lot of big words there, but he's going to explain what that is and how it could have a devastating effect on an injury claim. So go ahead and explain to the average person what all that means.
Okay, well, we've all heard about arbitration, and we all know about jury trials.
Sure.
And what arbitration is, or binding arbitration, is a contractual issue. It's a contract or it's a portion of a contract where, for example, you see it a lot of times in nursing homes. When mom or dad, you check them into the nursing home, well, you sign a lot of times an arbitration agreement. So what that means is that you're giving up, or your mom or dad is giving up their right to a jury trial. Now it will be in what's called arbitration. And arbitration is generally a process that's before one person. It's usually a lawyer who is qualified to be an arbitrator. Sometimes it's a panel of three, but it's not a jury. And there are a lot of problems with binding arbitration. First of all, we believe that it violates the Seventh Amendment right to a jury trial, but the courts have held that a lot of these binding arbitration agreements do actually apply. So a lot of times they're not required to follow the law. In those cases, they may be required to, but because there's not necessarily a right to an appeal in most of these cases, it's just not quite as helpful in terms of applying the law. And a lot of times it's usually hidden in fine print. Unfortunately, these clauses are buried in a lot of the contracts, but our courts have held that these clauses are actually good, and they are valid. A lot of times it's very expensive, which is one of the major problems that we have, because access to court, access to justice is something that we harp on every day. And unfortunately, a lot of times the arbitration agreements will require steep fees before anybody can even begin the process. And then once you get into the process, it actually can be very expensive. So if you do see an arbitration agreement in a contract, you may want to hold out, maybe talk with an attorney about that, fax it over there to them, let your attorney look at it, see if it's something, ask the people or the business that wants you to sign that arbitration agreement. Say, do I have to sign this arbitration agreement in order to buy this car? Do I have to sign this arbitration agreement in order to place my mom or dad in a nursing home? Mm-hmm. And let them answer that. And if there's any way that you can get out of not signing that binding arbitration agreement, you do it. But if you do, don't fear. It's not the end of the world. We work around those every day. So that's just a little bit.
Well, if you'd like more information, you can head to deliveringjustice.com. You can also go to myfoxal.com and click on the law call link there. And tonight.